Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Muhammad Awad. IGCSE and Computer Science teacher. Inshallah, in this video, we're going to continue with our topics related to IGCSE ICT, which is we already start them in a few previous videos. In this video, we're going to start with the topic, which is 1.3 operating system. We're going to know the operating system, what is the operating system, then we'll move to the operating system functionalities and the operating system interfaces, the different type of interfaces that we have in the operating system. And addition to that, we're going to study in details about these different types. As you can see here, we're going to reach up to end of this section. Let's get started. So at the beginning, we need to know what is the operating system. Operating system, it's a system software which is allow users to communicate with the computer system, especially softwares. This definition, it's a simple definition for the operating system. It's first of all, operating system, it's a system software that's allow or give a chance for the users to communicate with the system itself. So it's just like it's a connection between the user and the system and the hardware. So next point, the general task of the for the operating system, including control of operations of the input and output, packing and storage devices, then supervising the loading, running, and store of applications programs, dealing with errors that occur during or occur in application programs, maintaining security of the whole computer system, maintain a computer log, which details computer usage. This is like, it's just like a kind of system which is just control all the logs and the entrance to the system, allow communication between user and computer system, which we call it user interfaces. Next point, which is 1.31, it's about user interfaces. Mainly we have 4 different type of user interfaces related to our syllabus. Operating system offer various types of interfaces. We will consider 4 different types. The first type is called command line interface, CLI. The second one is graphical user interface, GUI, then dialogue-based user interface, and gesture-based user interface. Let's start with the first type, which is command line interface. The command line interface requires a user to type in instructions, to choose options for menus, open software. So the command line interface, mainly just to deal with this type of interface, you need to be aware of how to type the commands and instructions, which is a little bit harder for the people who are not good in commands. Example for that, as we can see here, is just like our command prompt. It's just, we open it, CMD. Yes, as you can see here, this is an example for the CLI. The CLI is just like having just you need to type the instructions, ipconfig, for example. It's just showing you some information related to this. So example, as we said, it's just like command prompt. It's an example of the first type of the interfaces, which is command line interface. The second type is graphical user interface. This interface allow user to interact with computer or MP3 players, game devices, mobile phones, using pictures and symbols, and just what we call it like icons. So this interface is just more user-friendly because we do not need to be having good information, or we need to be having good knowledge about using commands and instructions, because it's a graphical based and icon-based interface. Example for that, like as we have here in our Windows desktop, like it's just like mainly if I want to deal with this operating system, all I need to do, I need just to click on the icons on my desktop. This is the second type, which is graphical user interface, as it's shown here in figure A 1.8, screen images showing icons. Here are some advantages and disadvantages of the interfaces. When we talk about command line interface, one of the advantages the users is indirect communication with the computer, because just like using commands, it's directly being executed by the computer, whereas the user need to learn a number of commands to carry out based on information. This is one of the disadvantages. If you don't know how to type the commands, so it's going to be very difficult for you to use. Graphical user interface, the user does not need to learn any commands because it's just using only graphics. That's why we call it as a user-friendly interface. This type of interface use up considerably more computer memory than CLI. So the disadvantages of this interface, it can consume more memory than the other type. The third one, which is called dialogue-based user interface. In this interface, user use the human voice to give commands to the computer system. So here, mainly we use just like our voice to give a direct commands to the computer. Example, like as we have said, we have having that in for example in Google, we have the ability just to type something to the interface using your voice. The last type, which is called gesture-based interface. In this interface, this interface is relied on human interaction by the moving of the hands, head, or even the feet. So this is just now it depends on the human movements. Just like it can just get your movements and translate it to the kind of instructions. Those are the four different type of the interfaces. As we said, we have four main types. We have command line interface, graphical user interface. Then we have dialogue-based user interface, and the last one is gesture-based user interface. Here also we have just some advantages and disadvantages of the other two type of interface, which is dialogue-based and gesture-based. So in the first one, which is dialogue-based, that one of the advantages, no need for a driver to take their hands off the steering wheels. Yes, during the you are driving, you can just by talking, just it can be connected to this to the device using a voice as a method of connecting to the system. is still unreliable with many commands not being recognized or needs to be repeated several times. So here also, sometimes maybe if your voice is not clear, the system will not accept your voice sometimes from the beginning. You need to keep repeat. This is one of the disadvantages, whereas about the Gaster-based interface, replace machines input devices and no physical contact required. This is one of the advantages. Then the disadvantage is possible for intentional movements to be picked up. Only works fairly near to camera or sensor. That's true. If you don't have camera or sensor, then the system will not work out. Those are some of the advantages and disadvantages of the interfaces. As a conclusion for that, when we talk about the operating system, we are talking about system software that's allow users to communicate with the system, mainly the user interface. The operating system has various type of interfaces. We talk about them. We said the first one we have is command line interface, which is using commands and instruction. The second one is graphical user interface. This totally depends on the graphics and icons. Next is dialogue-based interface. It's just like depends on the human voice. And the last, not least, is gesture-based interface. That's just work with the movements of the person. Those are the 4 different type of interfaces related to the operating system. Inshallah, in the next video, we're going to talk about types of computer. Just as we know, we have different type of computers that we need to talk about them, inshallah, in the next video. Before I'm going to end this video, I'm just going to remind you just to subscribe in my channel, and just that to be received all the videos and all the classes just like one by one. Inshallah, it's going to be very useful for you. I have like videos, as you can see. I have videos for both subjects, computer science and information and communication technology. Inshallah, in the future, we'll be having more videos related to even to past papers. I hope this being informative for you, and I would like to thank you very much. Thank you very much, and goodbye.